I defend Justin Baldoni in this lawsuit with Blake Lively because I think she's horrible and she's made up this whole thing because she tried to steal his movie. But he is the most overly feminized man I've had to endure in recent history. Everything he says is self-flagellating over the fact that he's a man. But he's, to me, is sort of the embodiment of what happens when you totally emasculate a man. And then she continued, she took that stiletto and stuck it in his heart when he was down there self-flagellating, being so sorry for anything having to do with his testosterone.
Is this game over for Blake Lively? I mean, Megyn Kelly just played her biggest trump card, and it's the receipts we've all been waiting for. So is there any coming back from this for Blake Lively when all her lies are finally being exposed?
Time and time again, she accuses him of doing something, which then when you hear the full context is an absolute nothing burger.
After all, it isn't just about one bad interview or a single misstep. It's a big fucking box of lies and manipulation that Megyn Kelly has pried open, revealing a side of Blake Lively that her PR team desperately wants to keep hidden. So, what are these receipts that Kelly is wielding so effectively? I can't wait to cover these receipts and trust the last blow that Blake got from Megyn is next level. Receipt number 1, false accusation of sexual harassment disputed. Now that's a huge accusation, and it's coming from someone who doesn't throw those kinds of labels around lightly. According to Kelly, Lively's claims, the ones she's making in this lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, are unfounded.
Like she thought she could blame all of her negative press on him. He's a weakling. She's Blake Lively with Ryan Reynolds, her dragon. And she decided, I can't take 1 month worth of negative press, which she got, generated, she says, by him. He says, by you and your badness.
She's painting a picture of a celebrity trying to manipulate the situation to control the narrative. Now, this lawsuit is a mess. To cover it up in a nutshell, Lively filed suit against Baldoni in December, accusing him of sexual harassment, breach of contract, and a whole list of other things. But Baldoni fired back with a 244-page counterclaim filled with text messages and other messages that, according to him, show a completely different story.
Ryan Friedman produced text messages between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, so we don't have to take his side's word for it.
So, Megyn Kelly isn't just reporting the news, she's interpreting it. Blake Lively, in Kelly's view, is using her power to manipulate the situation. She is the one controlling the narrative. That's why Kelly dropped the serial fraudster label.
It's called fraud. When you pretend you want to do the one thing and you'll do the thing they're hiring you for, but all along you have secret plans to do something very, very different that's above your pay grade.
But that's just the beginning, because the second receipt digs even deeper. Receipt number 2, Blake's desire for control. And this is where Megyn Kelly really digs into Blake Lively's alleged obsession with control. Kelly drops a bomb with Lively's own words. Remember that Forest Power Women's Summit? Blake confessed she once hid her creative dreams. She said, I wouldn't reveal that I need authorship to feel fulfilled. Authorship, folks. It's all about owning her work, not just cashing in. Don't believe me? Watch yourself.
Wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled.
Next, Kelly targets the It Ends With Us set. She claims Blake wasn't just acting, she was pulling strings behind the scenes. Kelly calls it covert plans, stuff way beyond anyone's pay grade, rewriting scripts, demanding wardrobe changes, even making her own film cut. Kelly's painting it as a major power play, a star pushing limits, and don't forget, Justin was allegedly pushed to the basement on his own premiere night, with Blake taking full control.
I literally was sent to the basement with all my friends and family for over an hour because I wasn't allowed to be seen. She didn't want me anywhere near her or the rest of the cast.
Then Kelly throws in the Game of Thrones comparison. She uses it to call out Blake's alleged ego. The hint? Blake sees herself as Hollywood royalty, thinking she's entitled to make all the decisions.
Now you see text messages in this lawsuit from Blake Lively comparing herself to the heroine of Game of Thrones, the fiercest female character we've seen in years, Kelly.
Anyway, we've seen the alleged power plays from Blake before too, but according to Megyn Kelly, the darkest part is yet to come. Receipt number 3, poisoning the cast. Megyn Kelly uncovered some jaw-dropping stuff. She found a shocking confession from Blake Lively herself. According to Kelly, Lively admitted to trying to turn the Gossip Girl cast against her co-star Penn Badgley. Yep, Dan Humphrey.
Okay, but here's the other piece of news that came out this week. A 2009 Glamour UK interview by Blake Lively. She was on the cover at the time. And in her interview, she admitted to trying to poison the cast of Gossip Girl, which is where she made her name, against her co-star, Penn Badgley, who played her love interest, Dan Humphrey, on the show. She said, at first I was so upset that they had hired him. I actually poisoned the whole cast against him.
Anyway, poison, that's a strong word. And Megyn Kelly isn't letting it slide. She's connecting this past behavior to the present situation with Justin Baldoni. She's saying, look, this isn't new. This is a pattern. Now, Blake always tried to dominate her co-stars, and I can prove it to you right now. Look at this interview of Gossip Girl co-stars on The View and tell me what you noticed in the comments.
There was an article recently saying that Leighton and I were frenemies.
Anyway, back to the receipts. The number 4 receipt is about the Amber Heard connection. Receipt number 4, Amber Heard connection. And this is where Megyn Kelly really turns up the heat. She's not just hinting, she's comparing Blake Lively to Amber Heard, the face of, according to Kelly, making false accusations. Kelly's point is blunt. Lively, like Heard, is playing the victim. She brings up the lawsuit against Justin Baldoni and the sexual harassment claims, saying Blake hasn't seen any of her grievances validated. And she drops the bomb that his hardcore proof in text messages and other forms of communication has disproved everyone she's seen. And then there's this.
This reminds me of when Charlize Theron, she played me in a movie, and it was about sexual harassment, the Me Too movement. And when she went on her media tour to promote the movie, people said to her something about like, well, Megyn Kelly wasn't first.
Amber Heard is coming to Blake Lively's defense. After the Gossip Girl alum filed a legal complaint against Heard Ends With Us co-star and director Justin Baldoni.
One thing is clear, with each claim she is making sure Blake has no way out. But Megyn Kelly's not done yet. She's turning up the heat by highlighting the silence, the noticeable lack of support from Blake Lively's past co-stars. Receipt number 5, the silence of co-stars. Megyn Kelly's asking a crucial question. Where's the outpouring of support for Blake Lively? Where are all the former co-stars rushing to defend her online, or even following her on social media? According to Kelly, their silence and their absence from her follower list is telling. And she is right.
Tell me, if you're an unknown actor in this film and you know that Blake and Ryan have turned on the no-name Justin Baldoni, who are you going to follow? You know, these are weak, feckless people out in Hollywood. They have no spine. So of course they all unfollowed him and chose Team Blake, including, by the way, Colleen Hoover, the one who really owed him a debt of gratitude because he bought the rights to her book. She went Team Blake. Well, guess what she just did this week? She scrubbed all of her social media of Blake Lively.
To illustrate her point, later Kelly brings up another controversial figure, Meghan Markle. She recalls a time before the widespread criticism of Markle when the cast of Suits came on NBC. Publicly, it was all smiles and praise. But behind the scenes, a very different story.
It reminds me of when I was at NBC, and this is before everyone hated Meghan Markle. You know, this is the honeymoon phase where everybody loved her before she decided she was a victim. And all the cast of Suits came on to talk about her. And behind the scenes, let's just say, they weren't quite as cheery and smiley.
Kelly's not saying Blake Lively's former co-stars dislike her. She's saying their lack of vocal support, especially in the face of these serious allegations, combined with a noticeable lack of social media interaction, is a significant red flag.
I think the real victim in all of this is Ryan Reynolds. I was going to say the same thing. Like, he's coming home, he's trying to sell some cell phone plans, he's trying to sell some gin, and she's like, I need your help, little dragon. We're going to ruin people today.
Anyway, do you think Ryan is a victim in this situation? What do you think? Is this the end of Blake Lively's reign? Or is there something more to this story that we're not seeing yet? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.